You probably know Godox already for their studio accessories, most notably their lighting equipment. Recently, they've been getting into making audio equipment as well, and they just released the Movelink M2. So we're going to test this out today and see if it's any good. Hi everyone and welcome to Pal to Tech. A number of companies have been producing wireless lav microphones lately. You have these Rode Wireless Go units, a lav system by Tascam, and the more unusual 32-bit float audio recorder from Tentacle Sync. Now a little disclaimer here. Godox was kind enough to send us a copy of the Movelink M2 to test and review. But just like always, this review is my own opinion on the product. I am not being paid by Godox to do this review, and they have not seen this review until right now when you all are seeing it. The Movelink M2 sells for $200, and it includes 2 transmitters and 1 receiver, right inside this handy storage case. The side has a USB charging port, and each of these 3 units has its own built-in lithium battery. You also get 2 dead cats, a single 3.5mm cable for smartphones, a single 3.5mm cable that will plug the unit right into your camera or external recorder, 3 USB Type-C cables to charge each of the mics, a hand strap, and 2 omnidirectional microphones. So right away you have a really nice charging station / protector that you can just throw right into your camera bag. Now you can choose either to charge all 3 units via this charging case right here, or you can charge each unit independently with one of the 3 included USB-C cables. These units are really lightweight and small, and in fact, it turns out that when I first picked it up, I thought that the battery hadn't been included yet. They're so light, I thought, okay, I got to put a battery in it. There's no battery in it. But in fact, there already is a built-in lithium-ion battery. Now, speaking of battery life, I found that I got about 5.5 hours between charges, which for me was more than enough. Now, whenever you're dealing with a wireless lav mic, one of the most important considerations is range. How far can you go from the sending unit to the receiving unit? In other words, how far can the talent be away from the camera, right? And you can still get clean, uninterrupted signal. Well, it turns out these units have a 2.4 gigahertz frequency, which Godox says avoids interference from the congested UHF signals. But is that working distance accurate outside in the real world? Well, I decided to find out by going to my favorite Pal to Tech wireless distance testing site, a long and deserted road. I took my daughter with me as an assistant. On your mark, get set, go!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay,
8,
we can hear loud
9,
and clear.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
I can hear
22,
you perfectly.
23.
Don't need to be
24,
so loud.
25, 26, 27.
Less loud.
28, 29, 30.
All right, while she's out there testing, let me go over a few more features. The receiving unit has a headphone jack right here, which is wonderful because you can plug in a set of external headphones and monitor your audio. Now, there's a pair button on one side, which I actually never used because the moment I took these units out of the box and I turned them on, they all just turned on and paired with no trouble at all. Another nice feature is that you can control the gain on the receiving unit with these 2 buttons right here. Now, in terms of using both lav mics at the same time, it couldn't be easier. Godox considers one of these units to be the A unit and the other unit to be the B unit. So, A and B. On the receiving unit, you can control the volume of both A and B at the same time. Or you can switch between the 2 and adjust the volume of either A or B independently, depending upon your audio needs. I normally can't stand cryptic plastic buttons controlling hieroglyphic-looking icons on tiny little screens. Can't stand them. They frustrate the hell out of me, which is why I never learned to properly program a VCR. However, these are very well designed from a UI point of view. Much, much easier than trying to understand the confusing buttons on this unit, the TT685 right here. The usability on this unit, very difficult. The usability on this unit, wonderful. Okay, let's check back in now and see how that distance test is going.
97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102.
All right, she's now 100 steps, about 100 feet. Keep going.
108, 109, 110.
This is great. It sounds just as clear as if she were right here.
132. 130.
Oh, there was our first one. 132.
135. 136. 137.
Yep, it cut out again. Did you hear that?
139. 140. 141.
Okay, I wouldn't use it now
43,
at this distance for a professional shoot.
145. 146. 147. 148. 149. 150. 51.
Yeah, it's cutting out significantly now.
67.
Okay, come on back. So all told, these mics don't go quite near the advertised 50 meters or 164 feet. My assistant got about 100 feet before I had started noticing drop-offs in the audio. However, 100 feet away is far enough for most shooters, and it did give a very stable and reliable connection quality during that distance. There are two ways that you can capture audio with these units. The first is to simply attach the lav microphone right to the top of the unit and then clip the lav mic onto the talent, just like that, right? That's one way. However, the other way, if you don't want to use or lose or don't happen to have the microphone, it has a built-in omnidirectional condenser mic right on the top. And you can just clip the unit right on like this and you're good to go. You can use the included dead cat, which clips right on the top like this for windy shooting conditions. Now, let me tell you my favorite feature that comes with these mics, and that's the inclusion of these little Godox magnetic discs. So why do they have them in there? I mean, they look like tiddlywinks, right? You know, sometimes you might have someone wearing a t-shirt, right? And if you use the clip, you're gonna have it all bunched up, you know what I mean? You just take one of these discs and it goes behind the clothing like this, right? Then you just simply take the mic and boom, clips right on, just like that. So then you can have the unit attached like this without having to bunch up your shirt because of the clip on the lav mic. Now, as far as audio goes, you have the ability to switch between a mono or stereo mode. So for example, if you're recording two different people, you can set this thing to record in stereo and you'll get two separate audio tracks, one for each lav mic, which you can then take into post-production and edit separately. That is a very nice feature. Or just throw the unit into mono mode and you will get one single track with both audio sources mixed together into one mono track. So what about the quality of the audio itself? If you have a pair of headphones, go ahead and put them on right now while we do this next segment. Choose whether the focus mode and focus area used when the camera is in portrait orientation are stored separately. Choose whether the focus mode and focus area used when the camera is in portrait orientation are stored separately. Choose whether the focus mode and focus area used when the camera is in portrait orientation are stored separately. Choose whether the focus mode and focus area used when the camera is in portrait orientation are stored separately. Choose whether the focus mode and focus area used when the camera is in portrait orientation are stored separately from those used when the camera is in landscape orientation. So what is the final verdict on this wireless mic system? Well, I love it. It has totally replaced my Rode Wireless Go. I find it easier to use. I love the usability and the ergonomics much more than any other wireless lav system that I've used. The range is good, and I love all the little extras that Godox includes with this system. There is one improvement that I wish they would make. I wish they would make the transmitter stand out from the receiver or something. I don't know, make it red color or something so I can immediately know which one's the transmitter and which one's the receiver if I'm grabbing for these in a bag. So for $200, I think the Godox Movelink M2 is a great mic system to consider. And the fact that you can get a single transmitter Godox M1 for $140 makes it even more attractive. Now, am I a professional audio technophile able to discern audio frequency manipulation and high-end amplitude quality of recorded audio? No. I'm not, and I don't ever intend to be. But as a Fuji shooter and someone that hates complicated and over-engineered devices, what I want is a simple to use, compact, great sounding wireless audio solution for location shooting. And the extra feature to easily switch from stereo to mono and record 2 separate audio tracks, one for each lav mic, seals the deal for me. The bottom line is that I would recommend these systems for anyone needing a good wireless lav mic system. Well, that's it. I hope you found the video helpful, or at least entertaining. And if you did, be sure to give it the like and subscribe. I will see all of you again in another video very soon. Take care. Okay. Well done. Very good job. Very good job.